Welcome to the Linguistics Show, where we talk about life, love, and everything else. There's always something to talk about with this couple, so you never know what may come out of their mouth.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Linguistics Show. I'm Karal.
And I'm Jason.
And we've got a good one for you.
Are you okay, Steve Harvey? You think this is the Family Feud? Talk about some, okay, we got a good one.
Well, I can't do the voice like you.
Okay, folks, we got another good one. You know how Steve Harvey do with that, John, every time, man. Shout out Steve Harvey. Family Feud is a institution in our household.
Yes, he has a bit of comedy to it. But this topic is one that I think is interesting based on where people are in their relationship, whether you're dating, whether you're committed, whether you're married. I think this may be relevant to any kind of person.
Mm-hmm.
So today's topic is, does your partner's past really matter? And so by past, we mean before y'all knew each other. So past can be anything that you're thinking about. And so I'm going to ask my co-host, because this was actually one of his brainchildren.
One of my brainchildren.
Yeah, it was your brainchild.
At least it's not one of my grandchildren.
No, we don't
have
have
none of
ways.
those.
No,
we don't have none of those.
We got a long time for that. Hopefully, yeah, many years for that.
Oh my goodness!
But like Jason and I have known each other since I know exactly. I can't even whistle. So since 2000.
For the 99 and the 2000.
Okay, come on.
Like really represented for the 99 and the 2000.
Yeah, for the 2000, because I didn't know you back in the 99. I was still in high school in the 99.
Oh my gosh.
No, I was a freshman in college, but
you were both.
Yes, I was both, but regardless, I did. Oh, dang it! Hold on. Okay, it's fine. But regardless, I didn't know you.
Right.
At that point, I didn't meet you to the 2000.
Anyway, see how we get on these damn tangents? We still on tangents, man. Need a roadmap or some GPS or something to stay on subject around this show. Yes, we need ways. We need ways for conversations. Anyway,
so as a man, when you were dating someone, whether it was me or even somebody else before you knew me, do you feel, or did you feel like that woman's past mattered? And past could be if she was a jailbird. Past could be if she was
a jailbird. Did she have like one of those hot mug shots? Like you know, the people be having the hot mug shots. Oh my gosh.
Yes, I mean, past could be whether she was, I don't know, jailbird. She was pleasuring the neighborhood, or
pleasuring the community. Neighborhood.
However you want to describe it. Whether she was a straight up hoe and everybody knows that.
Oh my gosh.
Because I think it's important to get a man's perspective and also one from a woman, because you and I may think differently and we may think similarly on this, but I want to know what you think.
Do you really want to know what I think?
Yeah, I want to know your honest.
You're not gonna be happy with my answer, because my answer is vague and super vanilla, and I'm not that kind of person. But in this type of scenario, I honestly do feel it depends on the situation. It depends on the actual
with the scenario,
right, of the scenario. I wasn't trying to be redundant, but it really does depend on the scenario, on the specific situation. Case in point, I'm the type of guy, I'm mature, I'm confident in myself, I'm secure in my manhood, so I'm not really that worried about what my lady friend would have done with someone else before me. However, if it becomes something that is relatable, then that becomes a problem.
What do you mean
You know,
relatable?
so it's one thing to say, "Oh, well, before I knew my girl, she was out there, she was doing all this and that." And it's like, well, okay, well, maybe I was doing all this and that before I met her. So I'm not going to judge someone on their past. However, if your past involves my friends or people I have to see on a daily basis,
Mm.
that's not cool. That's one of those things where it's like, dang, like every single day I'm getting clowned.
So
And
then,
that's
like,
kind
would
of
your
like how
friends
guys are. That's
have,
just kind of
I
like how
guess,
guys are, though.
okay.
That's just how we are. Like, it's just one of those things. And it's if it's a known thing. So it's even worse if it's a known thing that they know but you don't know. That's even
And I
worse.
was going to ask you
That's even
that
worse.
too.
And ninety nine
They
point
would tell
nine
you.
nine nine no. 99
They
point nine
wouldn't tell
nine
you.
no, I mean they might not. So like if it's really one of your friends, a real friend isn't going to tell you. Like
Oh, I'll
a
think the
real friend
opposite.
isn't going to want to ruin your relationship. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
They would never deal with your partner and wouldn't want to ruin your relationship. Like a real friend, because like if it's somebody like if it was one of my best friends, and I had to literally look at this nigga every day, every time we hung out, it would ruin my friendship and it would ruin my marriage or relationship, what have you. So that's one reason why guys like depending upon the level of association like our thought process would change on that. But if it was just some dude I worked with or somebody I bump into
Hmm.
randomly around town, then and I just get snickered at every time I go to pump gas or whatever the hell. So like that's just goofy. But like I know women don't move like that. That's how men move. Like that's literally how guys would be. Like if it was somebody like that, like case in point, I didn't grow up in Waldorf, you did. So like there's guaranteed to be somebody that you dated from high school or before me that I bump into. It's bound to happen if it hasn't already happened. It probably already has happened. And so that being said,
Mm,
yeah, it probably
I'm
already has happened. And so like that being said, that's a different scenario from a guy's perspective. From a guy's perspective, it's more about the relatability aspect. Now, every guy's different cuz some guys are paranoid about that sort of stuff and, some are really conservative or maybe it's a religious thing for them or whatever the case may be. Like some dudes really that's a thing for them. Me, that was never a thing for me because I know I'm not no saint and I never claimed to be. So, I would never judge anybody on what they did before I was with them because I wouldn't want them to judge me on what I did before, vice versa. However, if it ends up being too close to home,
yeah. I mean,
where
if it's
where
like your
it's going to get
friend or
thrown
your
in my
neighbor or
face
whatever.
all the time or like a coworker and I got to look at this dude every day, like that's the type of thing that's like, oh man, like that's where you would get judged on your past. So like if I were to meet you and come to find out you were my best friend's girlfriend 15 years ago, but you didn't know that that was my best
Well,
friend.
yeah, that
So
wouldn't matter,
like
right?
that would be a no-no. Now,
So
guys
okay,
don't
so hold on. Okay, so
necessarily
you're saying it would be
it would be
a
a
no no,
relationship
as in
no-no.
like
It would be a
it does
relationship no-no.
matter,
It would be a relationship no-no.
even if it was 15,
It
10
would be
years
a
ago.
relationship no-no.
Why?
Because that's
So
how men are. Like men don't share women in relationships. That's not what we do.
okay,
Like that's like if that's my real friend, I would never want to be in a relationship with his ex.
okay, so so you're saying that if you met some, well, not you, if your best friend was dating someone like 10 years ago before you even knew who this woman was, and then by chance you and said woman know meet, I don't know, at Starbucks or whatever, and y'all hit it off and you're like, oh my gosh, oh hey buddy, this is no so and so, let's call, I don't know, Tanya or whatever, I'm making up names. So it's even if you had no idea that your friend was dating her
Hmm.
or having sex with her or anything with her, and you happen to meet her later in life, you still would think that's off limits.
Personally, for me, I would because I don't. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't put. How would I say this? Like I'm not saying you put your friends before your relationship, but
That's the
If I
phrase,
knew,
bros before.
right, that's what they say. See how I tried to say it professionally? You see how I try to be professional about it and not say, yeah, I bros before hoes. Like,
Well, not when you say that. Well,
broham,
not in
I
that kind of
bro.
voice.
But nah,
Don't use that. Don't use that kind of voice, please.
it's kind of hard to explain in terms that make sense for the general public. I think it's really more of a guy thing. It's like, yo, if that was really my friend, I would never be in a relationship with any of his exes, period, point blank, because you're gonna have to be around.
Even if you didn't know said ex before.
Doesn't matter because that's his ex. And so because of that, like what's gonna happen the first time I bring her around the crew? And then it's gonna be an awkward drama.
Yeah, but if your friends didn't know that
But
you were
then
dating
but
her,
then automatically
they were like,
then
"Oh, it's her." Oh,
right.
dang, Jason, why
But
you
see
bring her
then the
around?
other thing about that is it's not like guys have like secret relationships from their actual close friends. If any of my close friends were dating somebody specific, I know that.
Oh yeah,
Like
okay,
that's what I'm saying. Like, and it's not even dudes that I hang out with every day. I still know who they're dating or not. You know
right.
what I mean? That part. But in any event, guys have different levels to that. Now, would guys sleep with someone's ex? Probably. But would they be in a relationship with someone's ex? No.
Okay,
And
that's
so
different.
does your past matter? Your past only from my perspective, it's I know this is a very vague and trying to straddle both sides of the fence
Are you
here.
being John Kerry?
I mean, that's really what it is. I know it sounds like that, but it really pertains to the situation. I can't say that I have a cut and dry yes or no, this is my definite opinion on that because it would fully depend. I know that I'm mature and secure in my manhood. So if my woman had a past before me, it wouldn't fuck with my psyche. It wouldn't. But to a certain extent, if that past involved people I know and have to deal with and stuff like that, then it just creates an awkward situation that
Right.
would be taken into consideration because I guess all of this is pertaining to the beginning of your
Yeah,
relationship and
at
stuff
the
like
baby
that.
stages.
So you're taking that into consideration when you even decide to engage in a relationship with this person. So, it might not get past the talking stage or the physical stage if it's like, yo, like I already know you ran through all my friends or I already know that half of this town knows who you are and I just moved here. That sort of thing. These are like real scenarios that happen to people. Like the whole like, think about it from like the whole hood knows who this girl is, but you just got there. So now you just meet her and you don't know about her past. Does her past matter? It damn well should.
Okay, so I'm thinking of a particular situation, and if I describe it loosely, I think you may know who I'm talking about.
Oh my
I'm not
god.
going to use any name. I'm
Oh
not going
my
to use
god.
any.
She's terrible at this. So guarantee somebody's name's gonna get said by
Nope.
accident and it's gonna have to get all edited out.
I'm not going to use any names, but
Oh
but like
my god.
me as a woman, I don't think all the time that someone's, in this case, physical or sexual past matters, because even though you and I met at a very young age, I never like really pressed you about who you were with in high school or in college before you and I met because I didn't know you. I mean, like you told me a bit, but I didn't say, tell me more and how many times. I wasn't interested in that because that was who you were before I met you. But I'm thinking of this one particular person, she's a woman, but like I at times am judgmental. I've gotten a whole lot better, but I am still judgy Judy. Yeah. So like when you have a woman, who did have a savory or is
A
unsavory. Is it
savory?
unsavory or
So
savory?
was it
What's the word?
salty or saucy? It was savory? Like some potato
What's the
chips? It
phrase
was
that you
savory?
use that phrase like a
And
say? Yeah,
unsavory.
that.
Unsavory.
Yes, unsavory, unsavory. See,
Oh my gosh.
that's why you're.
Assorted past?
Yes, that's why you're
Oh my
better with
gosh.
wordplay. Even
Yeah.
though I think I am, you actually are better with wordplay than me.
Well, hey.
So when you have a woman who has had an unsavory or sordid past, and
A scandalous
yeah, okay,
past, so to
scandalous,
speak.
yeah, scandalous past,
Scandalous.
and many people know about it. Oh, guys,
Scandalous.
women know about it, but yet this woman turns it around. So like, if you are an outsider, like, do you think that? Okay, so like, do you think that like no, like her guy should know like, woo, she used to be quite scandalous, but she says she changed for you, and then I'm thinking on the sideline, how did she change? Is she playing games? Like, would he really care about someone's very, very scandalous past if she had, like switched up her life? Like,
That's on him, though. That's on him, and again,
but
why
if you
that's
see
gender,
him, and then
but
me
that's
as the
on,
bystander, I'm just thinking, oh, what would
that's on
she
him. That's on, but
know?
again, whose friendship matters more? Are you gonna throw your friend under the
No,
bus?
no, I wouldn't do
No.
that. I would hope
That's
he's honest and tells
so
him
that's my
himself.
point. That's my point. That's my point. And to a certain extent, I don't believe. I believe that kind of stuff is up to the person to find out for themselves.
Right.
I feel like that's more like you find out for yourself. Don't let other people, you know, dictate to you what you think about other people. Don't let them, kind of do that to your
With like she was
mindset,
like, yeah,
because then it's a slippery slope, and you'll never be able to look at someone ever again. You have to form your own opinions about people, rather than letting other people form opinions,
yeah.
and you go from there. But in that specific scenario, I would, yeah, that would be tough. So if that was my friend before I knew the female, then yeah, I'd probably tell him. But that would be, in the foundational parts of their relationship, not after they've been talking for a while. Like, that's something that, as a guy, that's something I would tell my guy friend, like, hey, oh, you just met Shorty, Shorty was a roller, right? Shorty was a roller. So that's DC slang, with our little bell sound effect.
The bell's
DC,
over
look,
there.
look, DC slang. Yeah, Shawty was a roller. So yes, she had a sordid past.
I know what that means, honey.
So I know you know what it means, but them youngins listening to us might not know what it
The
means.
people who are in Germany and Costa Rica may
Hey
not know.
Mo, your bots.
I really think they're real.
I'm
You
playing
think they're
with
fake
you.
people?
Oh my God, you're on
They're.
the thing.
It's okay.
I know.
They're real people, right?
Probably.
I hope so.
Oh
Okay.
my God.
Okay, as you were
Anyway.
saying.
It is not the way I look at life for real. I really don't want to create drama. I don't want to create negativity. I want to live in a positive space as much as I can. And that being said, I like to see people happy. And so if that person's happy with that little roller jump, then
who
so had
who
then
changed her life.
okay. Once a yeah,
Okay, so
always a
then,
yeah.
so the
A jai yeah.
and after we're done with this episode, I'm going to tell you who we're
Oh,
talking
I
about.
already pretty much know who you're talking about, but
Okay.
the point is that the point is that what I'm saying is just like, yo, it's not, it's the way I look at it personally. I just want people to be happy. And so if I did have that information, I would probably, keep it to myself. I wouldn't divulge that, you know. I wouldn't want to ruin their happiness
And I understand, like, you want them to
because
be
of
happy.
something
I
like
get
that.
that.
And so I guess really, to again, like you were saying, for that specific scenario, I mean, so that's two scenarios really, from a male perspective, but from a female's perspective. Now, you talked about, your friend. So, when you first met me, you said my past didn't matter. I mean, I kind of felt the same way about you. And that's one of those things that probably when we first started dating, we just were really on the same page on a lot of things.
Yeah,
And
we never
so,
talked about it really.
because we didn't really want to, we didn't, we both were on the
Just
same page,
just
where it
let it
was
be
just like,
unknown.
not that, let it be unknown that personally I was mature enough that I wasn't tripping. Like, I'm not worried about what you were doing before. I'm worried about what you're doing now.
Okay. What like so you and I did have a period of time that we went our I wouldn't say separate ways because we still talked almost every single day, but you and I were not a couple. It was you were Jason, I was Carol, you were in Florida, I was in Maryland, and so like that was like a year and change. I don't know how many months exactly it was, but it was I know it's a little over a year. And so I don't even think I ever asked you like how many women you were with, or I won't say if, but I'll say how many, because I'm sure you had to live your life. But do you think that matters? Like because we obviously got back together, we got married. Clearly, we're still married, and so like, do you ever think that makes a difference? Like when someone breaks up and then get back together, because I never asked you what you had going on when you were down there. The down there is Florida.
I don't think that it matters in the specific scenario because it ended up with the two people getting together anyway. Again, the premise of the question, I believe, is much more. It's much more when you get into a relationship, not once it's already established. And um, so like again, like breakup to makeup type season, like that's again one of those things. It's you take it into consideration again. It's still I feel like it's still the same mindset. It's like, does it matter to you or not? Are you secure in who you are or not? Are you worried about your future, or are you worried about other things that you can't control? Like that's the one thing about time, is that you can't get it back.
Right.
So there's no point in really wasting energy thinking about the past, because you'll never be able to fix that, but you can always fix the future. You can always make plans and take steps or do whatever to get to the next thing. So anyway, I guess what I'm saying is like, nah, I don't know that even in that scenario, I probably still have the same opinion that it's really based on the circumstances involved. It's based on the circumstances involved. And so when I say that it really pertains to the circumstances involved, I mean, that's really much more what most guys' perspectives would be. Now, you have a lot of different people that, for whatever different reasons, they feel differently on this very specific subject. You have some people that, culturally or religiously, they believe a certain thing. We know that in particular, we kind of tend to talk about Western culture a lot in our household, and the decline of Western civilization as we know it, that we're all literally living in, and witnessing. But in any event, how in Western culture in particular, it seems as though male promiscuity is almost celebrated, and female promiscuity is denigrated.
It was definitely a huge double standard, and I never thought. I mean, not never, but I don't think about that often anymore because I'm so far from that period of my life of like not being married. But we do have little people who will end up, of course, growing to be young women, grown women, and so that's something that I hadn't thought about from maybe a parent's point of view. Like if their son or daughter is that person who is known for being out in the streets, or so like
Oh, she's for the streets.
yes,
For the
but
streets.
so I mean like we don't have a son, so there's no, I guess, double standard to no to even have by having a girl and a boy, but I do know, and I'm sure you do as well, that sometimes guys, not guys, dads, maybe want their son to be, what's the word,
Well, I don't know that
not
guy.
promiscuous,
Yeah, but
but
no, no, I know.
I don't know.
Guys want their son to be, a guy's guy. So
A
it's
guy,
sort of.
is that what you're gonna
No, I mean,
call
I
it?
know what you mean. Like you want him. I know what you're saying, and I guess what. But from a dad's perspective, I also wouldn't want a son to be getting some girl in high school pregnant.
Well, yeah, we don't want
You
any
you feel
pregnancies,
me?
of
You
course.
feel me? So like that's the other part. Is like, yeah, I guess you would want your kid to be popular, You'd want your kid to feel popular with the opposite sex. I guess that's what I'm saying. I don't necessarily want my kids to be dating and doing all that stuff yet because, they're not really ready for that yet. But I do want them to be confident in who they are and feel good about themselves. And if, that's why I don't discourage them from being individuals. I don't try to force them into little you got to be this type of kid, you got to do this and got to do that. I want them to be themselves all the time. So the reason I brought up, I know again on the daggone tangents.
I
The
mean,
reason that I
it's all
brought up,
related.
the reason I brought up the perspective as it pertains to this subject is that again, I think that it bears repeating as we ask ourselves, does it matter? Even though both of our opinions are kind of, yeah, it doesn't really.
Yeah, for us, like we
It for
didn't probe.
us,
I'll
yeah,
say.
for us, I don't know that we didn't probe
Okay. Well, I
per
thought.
se. I think there's a
Okay.
difference between what you're saying and the actual vibe, and the way you're saying it is not the vibes. So what I'm saying is that from a certain perspective, I think it's important for the listeners to understand that this particular subject matter really, really does vary amongst different types of ethnic groups, different cultural groups, men and women, different age groups. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it just varies. So it's so tough to really say, okay, this is the way it's supposed to be, because men and women even have such. I mean, for example, let's just be honest. If you when you were younger, when you were single, and you and your friends saw a guy that you might have thought was attractive, but he didn't seem like the type of person who was dating anybody. He was kind of,
He just
maybe
out
he
there.
was socially awkward.
Okay, I hear what you're
Maybe he
saying.
was socially awkward. Maybe he just wasn't I didn't say he was unattractive, but maybe he
Right.
was just socially awkward. Like
Maybe he was
and he
shy.
wasn't, maybe he was shy. Is that something that women actually find attractive? Because from my perspective and my experience in dating before I was married, and listening to my friends talk about it and hearing young people talk about it in my profession, managing people, and
Mhm.
hearing them talk about their lives, it always seems as though women don't even find them type of dudes attractive. That women find the dogs attractive. It just, like, that's just the way it is. But the flip side of that is true. The converse of that is true for men. Is like men seem to, especially in Western society, seem to be fixated on their women being pious and perfect
Right.
and never been touched or unspoiled or anything like that. And it's like that in some Eastern societies as well, especially in Eastern societies. But I find it interesting that like it's a double standard like that. It really is a double standard. Like women wouldn't want no male virgin. I mean, they literally made a whole movie about this. And the movie is hilarious, but they made a whole movie about a 40-year-old male virgin and how funny and awkward it was,
Well, because he
and
was
how
40.
like
If you're
and
like,
how bad he was ruining his potential relationship because he didn't know what to do. Meanwhile, that's the flip side of that. If it was completely flipped, it would have been perfectly normal and acceptable.
I hear what you're saying, and I don't think that all women think like how you're thinking in terms of if it was the opposite, it would be okay. Because if the guy was like 27 or 25, I don't know how old he was. If he was in his 20s and still was a virgin or not really experienced with women, I don't think that he would be a reject
Well, I'm not
from
saying
like
be a
all
reject.
women.
I'm saying that once you start talking to him, it's like, ooh, he not relationship potential. He's not. I mean, like I feel like that's how women would look at that. Like you would like, ooh, he's not relationship potential. Or not even like that. I just it just feels like over the years in my entire life, as much as the first half of my life before I knew, and it's crazy. I've known you exactly half of my life basically, and so the
Yeah,
first
because your
half of
birthday
my
is coming up.
the first half of my life, come on, you don't give timestamps. They're gonna listen to this whenever they listen to it. Like, you ain't gotta worry about my birthday, whatever. Anyway, what I'm saying is that in my experience in dating before, it always felt as though The dudes who were loud and brash and were just assholes, essentially, were the ones who got all the attention from the women. Whereas
Right.
the flip side of that is how that works
And
for guys. Like
I
we don't want the loud, and that's what a lot of women do, especially in our community, don't get. We don't want the
they don't
loud,
want that.
brash, crazy.
They
We
don't want
don't
that.
want that, yo. We don't want that. Like, ain't nobody trying to tell you how to live your life. Be you. That, we love Black Girl Magic. We do. I'm trying to tell you, but don't nobody want that loud, brash, crazy stuff. Like, we don't want that. And
Is
so,
that you not want? I don't mean you, but
no,
like,
not
is it
me.
based?
No,
No,
this is
no. Is it based? They're on an age range because
no,
you're
no, no, it's not.
in your
What I'm saying,
40s. You're not in
nah,
your 20s
even when
anymore.
I was in my 20s, like, okay, so yes, it's fun to look at, but that's not relationship material.
Okay, gotcha.
Yes, it's fun to look at. Yes, it's fun to play with, but it don't go no further than that. And that's what, it's ironic that women always complain about men objectifying them, but dress in provocative manners and do what they do to attract men with their bodies. Men always complain about women being gold diggers and wanting them for their money and what they can provide. But men show off to women by buying jewelry and expensive stuff. It's like,
Yeah.
it's funny how we just misunderstand each other so much. And I guess I just realized this at an early age. And so I was never really caught up on those type of girls. Yes, they are fun to hang out with and play with, sure, but I never took anybody seriously who acted like that because it just felt like, in 5 years, where are you going to be? In 10 years, where are you going to be? In 20 years, where are you going to be?
Yeah, and I hear what you're saying, and I think that it is something that is similar when it comes to a woman. But then oh, you also have those cases like when a guy or a woman are in their 30s and yet are still, attracted or still want that loud, rowdy woman or that quote unquote bad guy, rough guy. No one says
Gotta
rough guy.
who, gotta get a
I
what.
wasn't. I
Yeah, I
wasn't.
know you were, old lady.
No,
Go
no,
ahead.
in my head, I was doing
Gotta who, gotta get a
I
what.
wanted
Go
to.
ahead, young. Go
In
ahead,
my
do
head, I
it.
was doing that, but
Go
not
ahead.
out
You
loud.
know she wanna hit that, your 90s hip hop won't even let you. You're listening to the beat and you're, I need it
No,
and I want it,
I
so
am
what?
actually replaying that the whole woman of hip hop night. I think that's what I'm doing right
Oh
now.
my
I'm replaying all of
God.
my
Gotta who.
'90s
So,
favorite MCs. But anyhow,
mm,
something that I thought about. I don't know whether it's last year, the year before. That I realized is that yeah, there are some women 30s. I won't say 40s really, but 30s maybe 20s, like still want that kind of man who is the roughneck. No one says roughneck anyway at this. No one even says that, but y'all know what I mean.
y'all
Even
want a hood.
yes.
A hood. That, like the song said, a hood. Oh my God, play the
Who
ball
sings that
like
song?
me, hit like me, talk like me.
That. No,
I'm a
but
hood.
like something that I thought about is that like sometimes women, and I'm speaking from experience as well, do it to be rebellious, and so it's not as if they like long term. And I'm saying most because I know there are some women who are 20s and 30s who actually still like that kind of man. I'm thinking, there's no real future in
That's
that.
because
But
they're
if it
not
works for
thinking of.
you,
That's
then
because
works
they're
for
not
you.
thinking about their future. They're thinking about their present.
Okay,
They're thinking about their present. They're thinking about what feels good and not what is good.
right.
It's like the type of people who like to eat sweets and candy all the time. That might taste good and make you feel good right now, but you're going to feel terrible later and it's going to screw up your body. Like, that's literally the best metaphor you can come up
Yeah,
with for people who date specifically on visual. Like, yes, you want to be attracted to your mate, but by the same token, you don't want to be in a scenario where you base your entire relationship of how your mate looks or how they, are sexually. You can't base your entire relationship off of that because looks fade. Things change over time. And so if you're, only into this person because of your attraction to them, then, you know, eventually that's going to fade. Eventually it will. There has to be based on something deeper than that. There has to be a connection mentally, emotionally. It can't just be physical. And that's where I think a lot of that comes from. So yeah, when women are attracted to the thugs and the bad
That's the
boys,
word I should have
when
used.
women when so
That's the word.
when women are attracted to the bad boys, it's because that's sexually attractive or more appealing to them. I get that.
But it's
um
not always about it being sexually attractive. It could be
um
that, and now I'm speaking from experience, that maybe, well, not maybe, they're trying to be something. Not trying to be, they want something or someone who is not like them, so they can see what that is.
I
Because
mean, if that's what
like
that
you
is,
get,
that seems to me like a bit of a of
well,
a mental problem. That seems like a mental health issue,
oh my
honestly.
gosh.
Really though, it does, because it's like you're playing with people's lives for the sake of an experience, like to check off your bucket list. Like, I dated a hood nigga.
It's
I
not
dated
even
I
about
dated a drug dealer. So yay, I got to experience that. Like,
that.
no, like that's not.
That's not what
So I know
it's
that's
not.
not what you're
Oh
saying, but
my
what I know that's not what you're saying, but what I'm saying is
you make it sound like I have a mental problem. I know
I
that
didn't say
that
that. We're not even talking about you. This is supposed to be hypothetical. Look at
well,
you. Tell it on yourself.
I know that
No.
May's Mental Health Awareness
Anyway,
Month,
hey,
but
stop telling on us. My goodness. Anyway, oh my God. Anyway, like I was saying,
like I said,
I believe that that when you base your relationship off of that, like you were talking about your friends who may be only attracted to the bad boys, and like but then we'll sit there and complain why they man is in the streets and acting a fool and messing with all these girls. And then you get, the guys who say the same thing, and then they'll complain about why they girl is in the club every week and why she's always posting half naked photos and videos every single day.
church finger. I know people can't see that. Okay, but
Church finger.
because I have a really valid question that I need your perspective on. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so are you saying that like sometimes men like really do wonder why is there a woman, whether they're dating, whether they're girlfriend, whatever, like why is she dressed in a certain way and out in the club, and instead of being booed up or at least like with him somewhere together? Is that what men think sometimes?
I don't know. Every man thinks of things differently. I'm the type of person. I'm
You
serious.
just
I'm serious because some people are weird like that. Like, I'm the type of person that's like, yeah, you want to dress up and have fun with your friends, go for it.
yes,
Have
that is
fun.
true.
I'm that type of guy.
You've
Like,
never like wanted me to like be like, no, don't wear that. There's too much skin. Or at times you're like, show more skin. I'm like, okay.
I'm like,
You're the
if
opposite.
if you want to dress up and hang out with your friends, I'm not going to stop you, because again, I'm not insecure. But the what some guys do act like that, and that is whatever their little insecure issue is. So I guess what I'm all trying to say is that, does your past matter? We keep circling right back around
I
to
mean,
it.
it's all
and,
related.
and then the question is, I mean, excuse me, the answer is, honestly, it can, but it shouldn't. And so if it does, then there's more deeper issues at play than the actual past. And a lot of that has to do with insecurity, it has to do with trust and things like that. And so if you have those kind of issues in the foundational structure of your relationship, then that's going to make everything a lot tougher going forward. That's for damn sure. So, like, is that a slippery slope that you want to try to climb, to find out about your partner's past when you first start dating? That's something that you're really going to want to have to figure out for yourself. Unfortunately, I don't have a real answer for you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Do I have a real answer for you? No. And the reason
It
I don't have a
depends.
real answer for you is because it really does depend on the scenario. And so, yes, handle with care, approach with caution. I'm not saying you don't want to know her past. I'm not saying you don't want to know his past. I'm saying approach it with caution. Approach it with caution.
I mean,
If that's something that you're into, it's important to you. I don't judge you if that matters to you. I don't. I understand. However,
if
just,
you're approaching with caution, I do get that. But then on the flip side, if you want to like open up and be like, hey, I did this, I did that, and I don't know, in the music video and whatever it was. I mean, that's why you look at me like that. Why are you giving me the rock eyebrows? Don't look at me like that. No, but I do think at times that that it could be important to just to be like, this is my past. Take it or leave it, and hopefully, they would take it and not leave it because the person is opening up. They are being vulnerable enough to. I hate the. I don't say I won't say hate, but I'm tired of the word transparent because it was overused in a certain reality show that I do like to watch on Saturday nights. But if the woman or the man is being transparent, I mean, is there any value? Is there any value to that?
I don't know. I mean, again, it depends on the scenario, the severity of what we're talking about. Like, I mean, there's levels to all of this, and I know that that is a very vague and whack ass answer, but to keep it 100 with y'all, that is honestly the best answer. It's going to depend on the individual circumstance, and it's really up to you how deep that down that rabbit hole you want to climb. And so while that might be not be the sexy exciting answer you're looking for, that's probably the best advice I can really give you
Yeah.
from a relationship, from a married man's perspective, from a long-term relationship perspective, from somebody who used to date back in the day before I was married perspective. What I can tell you is that that's one of those things that the only way you're really going to know is if you find out for yourself. Like, and then even in multiple different situations that you get into with different people, it might not matter with this person, but maybe it matters with that person, and everything's different. So my advice is to just handle with care, and again, leave it up to you to figure out whether or not it matters. We appreciate, all of y'all feedback on these type of things. Please send us emails, DMs, text messages, whatever the case may be. Carrier pigeons. You want to send an old school letter. You want to get out a piece of a loose leaf paper and write us a letter and put it in an envelope
Pass a note in
and
class.
seal the envelope and put a stamp on that envelope and write an address on said envelope and then put that in a mailbox, and then the mailman will deliver it to us. Like, that actually happens anymore. No, send a damn email. It's 2022. Don't do all that.
I
If
still
you send
send.
me a letter, there is a strong chance I'm not going to read it.
I still mail birthday cards to
That's fine.
my significant friends who
That's fine. They're cards. That's fine. That's
yeah, but
fine.
it still has to go instant anyhow. But
No,
no,
that's fine. That shows effort. That's cute. That's old school. I get that. No, what I'm saying is if you
I
actually
understand.
take your time with loose leaf paper, and then
I
you put your little stamp on the envelope. Oh, bruh, like, come on, young. But anyway, yes, feedback. We want y'all feedback on this one because I think this is the type of thing that could really get an interesting conversation started, because there's so many different various
yes,
scenarios
I
with so many
agree.
different people that
And
I think that if you really wanted an opinion from an experienced couple who've been through some things and have come out better on the other side,
I thought of that.
um, I feel like I would have to hear your whole scenario to really give you my opinion on whether or not that should matter to you or not. But then again, I'm still giving you my
Yeah, I
opinion,
mean it's gonna be
and
your opinion.
your opinion is what matters. Again, that's the and at the end of the day, and I'm glad we're going to wrap it up with this. At the end of the day, it's your opinion that matters about your spouse or significant other or person you're dating or your situation or whatever the F you want to call it. Yes, you came to us to hear advice, and we gave you a little
And
bit
some laughs
and some
too.
perspective on things. But for real, when it comes to something as important as your relationship, you know what I mean? Do what works for you. Do what works for you, If you want to know about her past, if you want to know about his past, you want to do your fact checking, you gotta Google somebody, do it. If you don't feel like that's necessary for you, then don't do it. All I'm saying is do what works for you and own that truth, and it'll work out for you in the end. Um I know, again, I said it before and I'll say it again. Please
Oh, I
subscribe.
know what you're
I
gonna
can't
say.
be catching her off guard. I just,
Because I'm thinking, what?
I
It
be on
does the
freestyle.
L.
And just subscribe, do all that. Listen to the podcast on all the different podcasting venues, all of your different ways you can get it. Listen to it on your phone. Listen to it in your car. Listen to it when you riding that raggedy metro,
Well, I was
man.
gonna say when you were
Like,
on the
God, that metro killed me, man.
or you can
They
catch up when you're sitting at your desk, catch up on some episodes. No, but I do want to add a couple of cents. I won't say 2 cents.
A couple of cents.
Yes,
So
so
it's not. Is that a bougie way of saying my 2 cents? I got to put in my 2 cents. I'm gonna add in a couple of cents.
I was trying to be funny. I was trying to be clever and witty. I was trying to be bougie. No, but I do agree with what you're saying that it's up to the person. But I also will say that even if someone did have a sorted past or
Sorted,
unsavory
sorted,
sorted.
not sorted. Like it's not.
Oh,
It's not
oh,
alphabetized.
oh.
It's not alphabetized in neat folders. No, it's sorted.
SORDID.
Yes.
Oh, okay. All the
And
time I thought it
and
was.
your word to the day, eel, sordid.
I thought you meant like sort.
I came into
Anyhow,
the store and I sorted all of those boxes by
stop talking like
color.
that.
Sorted.
But okay, so now I know that it's spelled differently. I didn't know until just now that it's not the same
And now you know why we got an A in linguistics,
because of you.
because I was the engine in this. I was the engine in this scenario. Carol was just
What,
the
I was
music
the
playing on
caboose.
Carol was the music playing on the radio. I was the engine. I just kept this thing just matriculating downfield, man, just doing what we had to do.
But I but
Didn't we already wrap this
I
episode
would
up? We still talking. Keep going. Tell me what your bougie version of 2 cents is. I'm
my
gonna
couple.
give you a couple of pennies.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you a couple of cents, but not 50. That was good. That was a good one. No, but I honestly do think that even if someone did have a checkered past, in whatever way it was, if the two people are compatible and are good for each other, I think that it doesn't matter.
That's basically what I said earlier. I feel you.
What I'm
I
saying
feel you.
is that even if they knew their whole past, if they still were a good match, then I think it doesn't matter.
But
Even
even isn't that what I'm actually saying? Is that it doesn't matter. If they're a good match, it doesn't matter.
okay, fine.
Oh,
We'll agree to say the same thing then.
we'll agree to say the same thing. Is that like a bougie way of saying agree to disagree?
We aren't disagreeing though.
Right. No, you're right about that.
We're agreeing.
We're saying the same thing in different ways.
So, like you said,
Ding.
yeah, so thanks for joining us
Bing bong.
for this episode of the Linguistics Show. Jason already told you where to find us and how
I
to.
didn't tell y'all where to find anything. I
He
just said
said
go
your
look
on the
on your
yeah,
platforms.
the pot. What's
On
it
your
called?
the
Spell
platforms,
it.
not the platforms. I'm not sure what a
but
platform is.
but thank you again for listening to another episode of the Linguistics Show.
Appreciate
We
y'all.
definitely hope that you maybe found some good nuggets that you can share with a friend or
Nuggets of
or
wisdom.
may actually help you. So I've learned a few things from you today as well.
Well, hey, I appreciate that. I learn every day. Every day is a new experience. I try to learn something new every day myself. So I appreciate you. Thanks everybody for joining us today. And please again, I'm gonna say it again because I'm closing this joint. Please again, like, subscribe, check us out on all your platforms. Not platforms, because I was thinking programs and platforms at the same time. Nah, check us out on all your various podcast platforms. We're gonna have some more stuff coming down the pipe real shortly, man. We've been recording a whole rack of stuff. So get ready because this is gonna get silly. We'll see y'all next time.
Bye.
If
you enjoyed this, like, comment,
subscribe, and share to the Linguistic Show.
This has been an Ashangali Enterprises production.
Co-produced by Naomi. Music by Brassville.